Hey friends, how's everyone doing? So coming off of the Steam Summer Sale videos that I did already and a couple other sale videos, somebody asked if I could do a Hidden Gems of the Steam Summer Sale. So yeah, let's do that. Let's do the Hidden Gems of Steam Summer Sale. Anyways, I've got 10 in all of these games I personally have played, I personally love, and I'm going to personally suggest. So keep that in mind. There's some games out there that are hidden gems that I might have missed. So what you want to do is go into your wish list or just specifically type in games and go search the store, because I think the majority of games on Steam are actually on sale, if not an amazing discount. So you're going to want to do that. So what I did was I went through my library, clicked on all the games that I got in previous Steam Summer Sales or that I previously reviewed or whatever, games that I previously played and loved, and I wanted to show off their discounts now and show off why they're good and stuff. So yeah, we're starting off with Dungeon of the Endless. This is something of an interesting game. It's a mix of genres, it is truly, and it's also tied into the story of the other Endless games like Endless Legend. Now, I'm not mentioning Endless Legend in this list, basically because I think there's some other competing games in that genre, like Civilization, so it's kind of debatable if you really need to buy that game, though it is also on sale. I'm going to say Dungeon of the Endless, though, is truly a unique game that I think you should probably get. It is a tower defense slash like rogue like kind of game. You actually progress through these different layers of a dungeon, but it works in sort of like a wave horde survival tower defense kind of way, and you control a party of members, and the party members have permadeath, and you can actually recruit more members, and it's just like this really cool adventure-y tower defense roguey kind of thing. It's a tremendous amount of fun, and it has a really awesome pixel art style. So if you're into that kind of stuff, which, I don't know, it's kind of vague and kind of niche at the same time, so not too many people know about this game, but in the end, it is still one of the best hidden gems, even at full price, and at the sale, it's an absolute steal. So the next game we have is a game called Ebnob, and this is something that I play with Ashley a lot. It's a huge amount of fun. It's really, really long. A lot of these games that I'm going to recommend are kind of shorter and stuff, sometimes 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours. Ebnob is going to take you quite a little bit. Now, there is online, it's not just couch co-op, but you can play couch co-op, and I think it's really meant as couch co-op. Now, basically, think something like Mario, okay? Something like Super Mario, except there's like, if you can kind of see the screen, it's like the world is split in two. So, and in that split, there's different gravity. Okay, so if you go into the bottom, one player is going to have reverse gravity, and so you can actually use this mechanic to bounce each other up, and you do some crazily wibbly wobbly kind of maneuvers. It's just a really weird gravity physics platformer that relies on you cooperating with your teammate, with your co-op person. So I call her the shoe and I'm the hat, so basically anytime we need to ever bounce on each other's head or something like that, then she's going to be on bottom and she's going to jump me up into higher places. So that's just kind of like the system that we worked out, and the game has a huge amount of difficulty. Now, there is the base levels, but then in every single level that you traverse and you adventure through, there's also these like secret areas and hidden achievements and stuff, and the game, it really makes you think. Like, normally I'm very good at puzzle games. I beat Portal, me and her beat Portal like extremely fast on the hardest difficulty with, I mean, it didn't take too long, right? Ebnob has taken us quite a little bit. So the story's kind of, I mean, like the little quests and the little puzzles, I mean, really the puzzles, there's not any story exactly like with text or anything. I don't even know if there's actually story never mind. Anyways, the adventure you go on, the puzzles, the cuteness, that all is, it's pretty challenging and worthwhile. It just gets a little bit repetitive, but in the end, it's got a lot of content. Okay, moving on. Here's a game that's one of those short games, and I could definitely say it's worth it at $5, but at $10, because of the shortness, because of the brevity, I don't know. See, Dark Mouse is a game that's kind of meant to be replayed, kind of like Dark Souls, like you can kind of replay it and try out different builds and stuff. And the game is incredibly, inspired by Dark Souls. It's called Dark Mouse, and essentially it's sort of like an extremely watered down and minimalistic version of Dark Souls. But the story involves a necromancer and some like rat people, and it's a really good game. It's just short, and for $5, it's really fun. And we actually did a Let's Play on Dark Mouse if you want to go check that out. Pretty cool game. It's kind of self-explanatory though, if you have played Dark Souls. If not, you should probably play Dark Souls, because that's also on sale for $5. Anyways, we have a game called Dungeon Souls. This is a game I covered extensively on my channel. I think it's a lot of fun. It's pretty cool, man. It's got awesome pixel art that was recently revamped. Basically, this is like Binding of Isaac, kind of mixed with a little bit of Dark Souls, and boom, there you go. You got a couple of different characters or classes that you can utilize. Now, there's still like that RNG system. There's still that bullet hell system kind of that you have with Binding of Isaac, but you have a little bit more control because you can actually level up your character, different stats, and you can choose kind of what weapons that you want to pick up. I mean, you can kind of do that in Binding of Isaac, but in this game, there's just a little bit less RNG to that extent. Overall, I had a lot of fun with the game. It's extremely difficult. Another very, very difficult game, and it's on sale. You can get it for $5 there. Now, technically, this is an early access game, so being able to get an early access game, I think, is pretty good. I think it's almost finished. It's had a lot of updates. It's getting more and more polished every day, and honestly, it's worth it at full price at what it has in the game right now. It's a really good, very well-polished early access game, and at $5, it's an absolute steal. Jump in early, get in on the Dungeon Souls hype, guys. And the next game we have is Insurgency. Now, this is the game that's actually stopping me from buying Rainbow Six Siege. See, Rainbow Six Siege is a tactical, team-based sort of like hero shooter in a way. Insurgency doesn't have the hero shooter mechanics, but it is a tactical FPS, and it's got a tremendous co-op mode that you can utilize with a bunch of other players. Like, it's not just like 4-player co-op. Like, you can co-op with like 12 people, run through these like little campaigns, these little challenge missions. There's some really awesome mod support, which I believe one of the mods is actually getting a mod of Insurgency, which I believe Insurgency itself was a mod, is now getting its own standalone game, which is going to be sold as Insurgency. I forget what it's called. Something? I don't know. Anyways, Insurgency is a pretty okay game. It's kind of underrated compared to bigger games like Call of Duty or CSGO or Rainbow Six Siege. It wasn't a AAA game, but honestly, guys, there's some really awesome mechanics to this game. I actually got it as a review copy, and ever since then, I've been in love. I've played it sparingly, but it's a really freaking good game, and at $5, it is fantastic. Now, I know a lot of people think that a lot of FPSs just really borrow from each other, but I think Insurgency does the most unique things. It's kind of niche. It's really slow-paced. It's very difficult, but what it does is it makes you feel like you're playing a totally different kind of FPS, even though it's totally just a modern shooter. It's a modern FPS. It's kind of like Call of Duty in ways, I guess you could say. It's kind of like the Rainbow Six. It's kind of like these other games, but it's just fine-tuned to such a degree that I think it's really marketed toward very hardcore FPS players. You're going to have a lot of fun. Very slow-paced, very tactical, and if you're into that, you're going to love Insurgency because I think it's just the best. Next up, we have a game called Rake. Normally, I would never recommend games like this, especially when, I mean, it's really cheap, right? It's $2.49, 50% off, but freaking, this is the only horror game where I truly was afraid, where I truly screamed out loud, and it also has some really interesting and fun mechanics. Well, can you actually play as the Rake? That's interesting. Now, there is multiplayer in the game, co-op multiplayer, and apparently you could play as the Rake, which is pretty interesting. I wonder if there's gonna extend the content of this game. Anyways, so the game has been getting updates and stuff. So basically, you play as a character who hunts down mythical monsters, and I guess this game focuses on the Rake, and you use cameras to kind of track it, and you're actively hunting the monster, while the monster is kind of actively hunting you. So in that sort of situation, even though the graphics are pretty ugly and the sound design is not amazing, you know, it looks like a cheap Unity game. In the end, it's just such a unique premise that I have to give it a thumbs up compared to other horror games, especially because it does incorporate multiplayer into its gameplay. So yeah, very nice for $3. You will get scared. There is a couple of jump scares that will get you, okay? And then the core gameplay, even after the jump scares, you can still continue to play the game, okay? So very fun. All right, this is probably the only true old game on the list. Yes, it is. Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. Now, why this is good. Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 is a timeless game. The pixel art is timeless. And if you want to play it, okay, what you want to do is buy this game, and then you need to get the mod or the extension called Open RCT2 or RCT2 Open. This allows you to play the game in true HD. It allows you to play it in a windowless full screen. It also allows you to play the game co-op. Like, you can actually cooperate with friends. And I streamed on Twitch for, I think, a full week. Like, seriously, like 12 hours a day. I streamed Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. I was playing it, did a lot of co-op with a bunch of different people, did some collaborations. It was a lot of fun. I kind of regret not doing it on YouTube because there were some really fun moments. But it's so cool to see this game not just run well on a modern machine, because I do believe the pixel art is timeless, and the mechanics are timeless game. There's literally no other game that has the content that this game has, even with the Roller Coaster Tycoon type games coming out, like Parkitect and stuff. No, this game has true content to be had fun with, and also the co-op is just unmatched. Like, literally, there's no other game that allows you to manage stuff cooperatively, and it's just fucking amazing, guys. It's just fucking amazing. Get it? Also, what's really cool is that if you own the game and you share your library with somebody, since Open RCT2 actually just uses the files and doesn't activate the Steam account, what you can do is share your library with them, and then you both download Roller Coaster Tycoon to Open, and then that allows you both to cooperate with only one of you having the game. You can even do that for 3, 4, whatever, how many people. So really fantastic. I'm glad that this game exists and I can purchase it on Steam and utilize Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 Open. In fact, it's the reason why I don't think I'm going to get the new coaster games anytime soon, because there's just so much content and it's truly fun. Okay, next game we have is called Titan Souls. Titan Souls is a game I actually did a Let's Play on if you want to watch it. It's about 4 hours if you're really good at games. And it basically, it kind of like reminds me of Shadow of the Colossus in ways, because all you're fighting is bosses. And at the same time, it kind of reminds me of Dark Souls just because of like how it's designed with its respawn system. But essentially the idea, this game actually came from a game jam where the rules were you have to follow the rule of 1. So this game is inspired by the rule of 1. You only have 1 arrow, bosses basically die in 1 hit, and you die in 1 hit. So you need to hit their weak spots, or sometimes you need to hit a spot that reveals the weak spot. And basically, it's just really a hard game that you need to really master these mechanics of these bosses, master your own mechanics, the physics of the game world, and it's got awesome pixel art. It's a lot of fun. The story is kind of like Dark Soulsian or like Shadow of the Colossus. Like, it's really, like, it's not thrown in your face at all, and it's extremely vague even when you do finally get all the information. And also, I don't know, I just fucking love it. It's just well designed, basically. So it's not just a gimmick, it's a well designed game based around its gimmick. So yeah, that's it. It's on sale, boom, under $4. Let's go. Okay, here's a game that I did not put on my top 10 pixel art games. I did show it off a lot. Or was it pixel art? It might have been pixel art. It might have been, I think it was roguelite type of games. Oh yeah, top 10 roguelites. Anyways, I showcased this game a lot, but I didn't reveal it as a number on my top 10 roguelites because I didn't have a lot of experience with it. But in the comments below, you guys said, yeah, Risk of Rain is freaking amazing. Now, I only played it just a little bit, so I wasn't too confident with it. And the game is kind of fast-paced. It is very hard. Many roguelites are, but this game is a 2D platforming roguelite with lots of just fucking ridiculousness, man. There's so many creatures on the screen. There's so many really crazy abilities that you can get. The monsters are truly like epic as well. So overall, you know, I kind of regret not actually adding it to my top 10 roguelites. I did show it off a lot of it, and I kind of wish I showed off more of it. So here we go. This is 75% off for $3. Now, if you get the 4-pack, because this is like a co-op-y roguelite, which is another reason why it's freaking amazing. So many don't have co-op. Anyways, this one is actually co-op and kind of based around, you know, the idea of co-op. So, man, you know what? Honestly, I probably should have put this at like number 3 or something. It's a really good game. Dude, you could buy a 4-pack for $8 for the price of under the one game. You can get it on discount. Buy it for all your friends. Go and have fun. So that's pretty sweet. Now we're on the last game here. I put this game because I also did a Let's Play on this game, though at the very end of the Let's Play, there was actually a glitch and I couldn't actually beat the game, tragically. That's been patched, that's been fixed. This is a non-combat, sort of like horror walking simulator type of game. It kind of reminds me, like, think of Metroid, but take away all of your combat abilities and just have puzzles. And it kind of like, you just walk around, learn about the story, learn about the world, what's going on. And it's really trippy. It's really very interesting. And there are some really cool scares. There's like an element of horror that's always like sort of creeping down your spine. And at the same time, there are going to be some jump scares. And it does have a kind of interesting story that you can get sort of, you know, sunken into, pun intended. But yeah, 50 cents, man. And it's only $1. I bought it for $1 whenever I did my Let's Play, but yeah, dude, 50 cents. There we go. It's a hidden gem. I don't think many people really know about this game, but it's truly an enjoyable game. I think you'll beat it in 4 hours. It's fun. Now, that's the end of the list that we have. Just 10 games that I personally have played and do enjoy. Now, I've probably missed some games that, well, literally I did not play them, so I literally missed them. Might be buying them this Steam Summer Sale, but if there's any games that you think is a hidden gem, please leave in the comments below. These are my games, okay? So, just to recap, we got Dungeon of the Endless, Even Ob, Dark Mouse, Dungeon Souls, Insurgency, we have Rake, as well as Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, Titan Souls, Risk of Rain, and Reveal the Deep. A lot of them kind of mix actually, if I look at this, almost all of these kind of mix a couple of genres together, except for Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, which is really its own thing in the end. So yeah, a lot of these games I think are very interesting for probably a niche, you know, amount of people, which is why they're hidden gems, right? So maybe you'll be able to find a game here, maybe not, but overall I just know that I personally enjoyed them and they're worth looking at. Even if you think you might not enjoy it because they are kind of niche games or they're kind of weird and vague, well, they're on discount, so it can't hurt trying, right? Thanks for watching. My name is Skylent. Look forward to more top 10s and other gaming goodness. It's called Skylent Game after all, and I'll see you again next time.